Super Tendo Boy, and today I've been looking at this beacon and wondering something. Wondering, what if beacons never existed? What if in 1.7 they didn't release the beacon? What if they added a different feature? Perhaps something else that's coming out now in 1.7. I don't know. But if it never existed, then perhaps eventually we, the Minecraft community, could invent it ourselves. Now, you might be wondering, how would that work? I mean, we just have the tools that are provided, but it is possible. We can make a beacon without, well, a beacon block. And it would also be customizable. Of course, it sounds like I'm just talking nonsense, like mere wishes, but I've actually created this myself. In fact, you might be hearing the noises and seeing the fire resistance particles right now. It's right over here. I like to call it the Nether Beacon. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn my sound down because there are quite a bit of blaze noises. That is what is giving it this particle effect. And this is in complete vanilla Minecraft. This works much like a beacon. As you can see, it gives me an effect, and if I get 60 blocks away, then eventually my fire resistance will go out. Now this is all good and dandy, but there is a slight downside to this, because you might have noticed the beacon right here has light going up infinitely. This one does not. This one is just a tower of invisible, invincible blazes with invisible bottom halves of iron doors on it. And if I was to make this go up all the way to the block limit, I guess, it would cause quite a bit of lag. And also, if you don't have these named, they can despawn, and they do cause quite a bit of a mess. Sorry, I can't talk. If you do not maintain them properly. But overall, this is a really cool effect. Now, the main thing of this feature is this right here. It looks like a beacon, but there's not a diamond block in the middle. There is an activated redstone lamp, which is a complete legit thing in Minecraft, but it's inside this glass block, and it's smaller. Well, that's what I'm going to show you how today. And you might notice when I go up, when I look upwards slightly, you can see that it disappears. And I will show you why here in a minute. Now, I'm not going to show you exactly step by step how to make this, as that would be quite lengthy, but if you do want to see that, comment in the comments below and I'll be glad to. This is just for aesthetic purposes. I put quartz here rather than iron, and when the 1.7 update comes out, I'll be able to use the set block command to be able to tell if this is actually here. So I might do an update video on this. But back to business. How does this thing work? How does it give me fire resistance? Now, before I touch upon that, the reason I made it give me fire resistance is because beacons can give you speed, haste, resistance, jump boost, strength, and regeneration. But I thought about, what about the other still practical potion effects, such as fire resistance, night vision, and nausea. I don't know why you'd want that, but still, it is necessary. Once again, the blazes. This one fell out of the stack. This is a large stack of infinite blazes, as I said, and they are blazes, so this will happen. I was actually hoping it would for a demonstration. This does not work 100% of the time, but as I said about an update video, that might happen when I find another way for me to fix this. If you do know how, tell me in the comments below. But finally, after no further delay, I will show you how I made this block right here. It's actually quite simple. That minecart right there. That's what this thing is. That minecart right there. That's all that's creating this effect. Don't believe me? If I break this glass block, of course all the blazes will be let free, but it's not actually a part of the glass block. In fact, I can walk right through it, and it doesn't really emit that much light. In fact, I can demonstrate that right now. As you can see, it stays bright, but besides these jack-o'-lanterns inside, it itself does not actually produce, well, not really any light at all. It stays bright, but still not very much light. But as I said, this minecart is doing it all. What this actually is a hopper minecart. But using some NBT magic and a little bit of MC edit, I was able to make the hopper inside the hopper minecart look like a lit redstone lamp, and change the height offset. As I said, I'm not going to do a step-by-step tutorial, but I will tell you now, this does use NBT edit. There are various tutorials on how to do this minecart custom display. Also, this minecart is invincible, just in case. You never know what could happen. But how does it give you the potion effect? That's actually the simple part. And I touched briefly on something like this in my trampoline pistons video. There's my laboratory over there, in fact. And you can just come down to see the redstone. And it's not really that much. We just have a little clock going on to a test 4 command that detects if you are standing on the beacon block with a 60 block range. So it gives you the fire resistance for 60 blocks away. And also, you might notice it blinks from 7 to 8. That is because I've not found a way to make it like the normal beacon where it counts down to 5, then goes back up to 8. But really, it does the same thing, it just looks a little bit different. But back down here at the redstone, test 4 command comes through to a comparator, which if I am within 60 blocks, it will send out a redstone pulse, which will activate a repeater to lengthen the signal, and then we'll activate another comparator in subtraction mode with redstone right here to make it a constant clock that activates an effect command that gives me fire resistance for 8 seconds. And that's about it. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. Once again, for the 4th time, I am not doing a step-by-step tutorial. If you do want that, put it in the comments below. I honestly don't really want you to have to see all the technical gobbledygook, but if you are interested in that, good for you. Tell me in the comments below, and I sure will do so. But I guess that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching.